I'm calling it. That's going to be the end of the MCU. We're not getting more. You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. We watch a thing. We watch a thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Watched a Thing with Billy and Dave. How are you, my friend?
I am very good. We've got lots to talk about this week.
We do. We've got a lot to catch up on. How about we start with probably, I guess, the biggest of the three, although not if you look at the box office, with Fantastic Four First Steps. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. 2025 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics superhero team, The Fantastic Four, produced, of course, by Marvel and Disney. It is the 37th film in the MCU and the second reboot of the Fantastic Four series. Directed by Matt Shakman with a screenplay by Josh Friedman, Eric Pearson, and the team of Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer. Pretty big cast. It's got Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss Bachrach, and Joseph Quinn, along with Julia Garner, Sarah Niles, Mark Gatiss, Natasha Lyonne, Paul Walter Hauser, and Ralph Ineson. And what is it about, Dave?
Marvel's first family, as they're starting to call them in marketing. The Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, Sue Richards, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm. Unlike the previous two attempts at bringing them a sort of a live-action film of Fantastic Four, as with James Gunn's Superman, we skipped the origin story and we sort of joined them, already well-established as beloved heroes, protectors of the planet. Although the origin
story in this, I think, is better alluded to than Superman.
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head up into space and come back forever changed.
This car?
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Feel like they straight up skipped the origin story. It just felt like it wasn't a huge part of this.
Yeah, and how they got their powers in the terms of this story. It's explained, but it's also not hugely important.
No, that's right.
It doesn't really inform. They're not leaning into sort of the inherent tragedy of Ben Grimm's existence, for example, the way the Michael Chiklis version of Ben Grimm did, where, he's got a shit life. He's made of bricks now. He can't have relationships, all the rest of it. They kind of gloss over all of that pathos and just kind of attempt to a little bit more levity to the story. But we meet them. It is not our universe. This is a parallel universe. They're really
Earth
leaning into that.
828, I believe this is.
Whatever, Marvel. They're really, as they did with WandaVision, they're going for a really stylized look. This is all kind of 1960s, 1950s.
Very Jetsons, retrofuturism.
Yeah, that's the wanky term that I was attempting to remember. Retrofuturism. Reed and Sue are attempting to get pregnant, and suddenly Silver Service shows up, heralding the arrival of Galactus, who's going to come and chow down on Earth, and they have to sort of leap into action and try and stop that happening.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well, let's get straight into it then. I don't remember if either of us had this proper on our most anticipated of the year list.
I think we both mentioned it, but I think I mentioned it along with Superman as ones that I was expecting to be kind of good, and I was keen, but...
Yeah, because certainly this was the most keen I've been for a Marvel movie in a long time. I have no great love for the MCU, particularly these days. Yep. I did really like Thunderbolts, and when I saw Thunderbolts, that was the first time I saw the trailer for this, and so I was excited. I loved the aesthetic, and look, maybe my hopes were too high, because I think this is a little bit more like the average four. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I had a good time. I saw this on date night in Gold Class, had a great burger. Noosk probably liked this movie even more than me.
Wow.
So I'm not saying it's a bad movie. For me, it was kind of a bit middling. What about your experience?
Probably much the same. I enjoyed it. I think overall, by the end of it, I probably enjoyed it marginally more than Superman.
I agree. I liked this more than Superman.
As with Superman, I think there were some issues with writing and pacing. I think the first act I found dragged a lot. And it felt clunky. The writing of the first, until Silver Surfer turns up, the writing felt very clunky. They were obviously going for this stylized look, which I think they nailed. However, I don't think they nailed the stylized feel. It felt like they were kind of hinting at a 1950s sitcom feel.
Yeah.
And I almost expected a laugh track over
I would agree.
But they didn't lean into it enough. And as soon as Julie Garner shows up, they threw all that aside and it went straight into a standard Marvel kind of action film.
I would agree. I think that's my biggest problem with the film, is that it doesn't live up to what the aesthetic promises. I think the look of the film overall in terms of the production design is really great.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's that good a looking film in terms of the CG. I think the CG is really pretty poor. Particular, when you're looking at Mrs. Invisible, all of her, I do not like the look of that stuff at all.
I didn't like the look of that. I thought... I'm not the best judge of these, and correct me if I'm just my eyes out, but I reckon that Doug Jones' Silver Surfer from 2007 or whatever looked better than this.
I agree. Silver Surfer is where it really fell down for me.
Robert Patrick was more convincing in T2 as Silver being.
I thought Grimm looked great. I thought that, the work there was fantastic, and from my understanding, that was at least partially practical.
I think you kind of have to be with that character in order to be able to act it. You can't just fully CG over the top of them.
I think a lot of the rest of it was really quite ropey.
Galactus, I thought looked good.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I think that they managed to convey the sense of scale and everything with Galactus well. He felt big.
Yeah, my issue with that is
I don't think he didn't kick ass enough for one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe.
The first time you see Galactus too, I thought he was just a floating head. I did not realize he even had a body. That entire sequence on his spaceship, you don't. I feel like that kind of killed the sense of scale a bit, because I don't know where his body's hiding there, but you only see his head for that entire sequence. Well, yeah, it feels like he's standing in a pit or something.
That may have been deliberate to kind of space out the reveal, so you go, holy shit, that's a big head, but the full scale doesn't really come through until he kind of arrives at the end.
Yeah, possibly. So I thought that could have definitely been handled better.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest problem is that I think the story is actually quite good. I don't mind the idea of them having this kid and that kind of being what Galactus is after and everything.
Well, because, are you aware of Franklin Richards as a character?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Franklin
I'm not
Richards,
hugely across the four.
Franklin Richards becomes the next Galactus.
Okay, right.
He has, as they allude to, he has the power cosmic. And that's why Galactus is after him, because he can tell that, because he's essentially a slave to appetite. He doesn't have a happy existence. He's alone, and he just is constantly driven by hunger, almost like a heroin addict. And he knows that Franklin, he can sense, has the power to kind of take his place and kind of, whether it gets him the sweet release of death or freeze him in other ways. I don't remember.
His curse from
but Franklin does in the comics become the next Galactus, and has, from memory, both Shalabar and Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer that Doug Jones played, both of them are his heralds, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about the Silver Surfer, because obviously we've already had Silver Surfer in the MCU.
Yeah, that was the OG Norrin Rad.
This is I've never seen Silver Surfer in this kind of context, but in terms of the comics, this is a way that Silver Surfer has been kind of introduced to stuff before.
I think Shalabar may have been Norenrad's wife.
Okay.
And there's an alternate version of the story where she becomes the Herald. I can't remember whether it's a parallel world or they just kind of rebooted the character, but they are both comic versions who both served as heralds for Galactus. So that all seems to, in my limited recollection of Fantastic Four lore, I think.
Yeah, right.
Correct?
Yeah. I mean, look, I did not have an awful time with this movie, and I think there's some good stuff. I thought all the cast were really great. Yeah. I'm not typically a big Vanessa Kirby fan in what I've seen her in the past.
You've got issues. She's great.
I liked her in this. Pedro Pascal was good. I don't know what is going on with him at the moment and the whole discourse there. I don't understand.
Everyone's hating on him now.
Oh, it's the same with Sydney Sweeney. I don't get it. I just don't. Well, I mean,
people are idiots.
It's a pun.
I know. People are morons.
Fairly simple pun.
If you can look at that American Eagle ad and read
that girl has fucking
eugenics.
Good genes. Look at her fucking face.
If you can look at that ad and kind of read, there's some eugenics Nazi undertone.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
I don't know what's going on with Pascal, but I thought he was great. I liked all of Joseph Quinn, really good. Big fan. And Julia Garner, I think, is always fantastic. I think the biggest crime here is that, yes, she's underused.
Could have had anyone. They've got some sort of filter on her voice.
Well, that's
it didn't even sound like
she's
her.
So CG. It's effectively not even really her performance, really. Yeah. So that is a shame. That's the biggest crime for me,
Ralph Ineson is... Do you need an actor the caliber of Ralph Ineson as Galactus? I'm assuming Galactus will be back, or why would you bother? Casting anyone.
I
He's
guess
barely got a line. It's obviously not his, maybe it's his lips, but the rest of him, even if either the whole head's CG or everything other than his mouth is CG. So,
best thing about the film for me, apart from the overall production design, the score by Michael Giacchino. And you talk about, leaning into that aesthetic and what works and what doesn't. That score fucking works. Like, it evokes the time and the style that look is going for. Yep. I thought it was fantastic. Best part of the film for me, 100%, is that score.
Yeah, well, I think everything other than the kind of the writing and the tone, which we already spoke about, where they kind of stuck their toe in the waters of laugh track sitcom and then backed off really quickly. But everything to do with the look, the costuming is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You've got the cheesy 1950s style Ed Sullivan type TV host.
Yeah.
The design of things like was it Kirby? No, Kirby, not Vanessa. It's Vanessa Kirby. Who's the robot? With the tape reel eyes.
Yeah, I think it was Kirby. I think the robot's name was probably named after Jack Kirby.
Of course. Yeah, not Vanessa Kirby. All of that look was fantastic. The real early sci-fi, 1950s sci-fi shape of their rocket. The Fantasticar was brilliant. Yeah, I loved that thing. So all of that, I think, they nailed. I would like to see it up for awards for production design and costuming.
Same, yeah. And, I mean, you're right. I would assume Galactus is probably coming back. I mean, let's talk post-credit scene. Did you watch the post-credit scene?
I went back and watched it. I didn't. I didn't. Look, I know this is probably going to offend someone who is sometimes one of the people in the credits. Fuck me on a Marvel movie. It's literally 10 minutes of scroll.
At least. I mean, there's the very, very end, which in this is nothing. It's just a very short snippet of the Fantastic Four cartoon.
I really hate when they put the important story ones as post credits.
Whereas
when the credits go for 10 minutes.
It was pretty early on.
It's post cast before the rest.
Yes. But I think it's like 3 years later or something.
4, I think. I think it was 4.
We get RDJ.
Someone in RDJ's costume.
Yes, it wouldn't be him. So obviously this is going to lead quite heavily into Doomsday. I mean, I don't know if there's a trailer out or anything, but I saw they put a poster out, which effectively is, they're really plugging that it's going to be bringing everything together. It had the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Avengers, and all coming together into Doomsday.
I'm expecting a hot mess.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be very multiversy. I don't know how
because
they're bringing them all together.
We know that this was not the grand plan. This is the cobbled together grand plan post Jonathan Majors, post everything,
yes.
and 3 or 4 other things along the way as well. We know that Doom wasn't the big bad. We know that they've kind of put this together, looking at films that had already been made, TV properties that had already been aired.
Yeah.
And they've had to course correct it. So we know that it's a cobbled together
let me
mess.
ask you a
How
question.
well they salvage it remains to be seen.
Speaking of salvaging, let me ask you a question, right? Because I feel bad, actually, that he's not on this episode because he's been on just about every Marvel movie we've ever done. But friend of the show, Sam Hurley from Movie Reviews and 20 Qs, who I think he's on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment because he's moving, so a bit busy to jump on. But he messaged me, of all people, #1 Marvel fucking fan in the world. He sent me a message saying the MCU is dead. And not that he
because
didn't,
of this film?
Yeah, not that he didn't like... He said he didn't think the movie was great, but he liked it enough. But it's the box office. I mean, the budget obviously was huge, 200+ million. So far, worldwide, it's only done 360, and it's already dropped 50% in its second week. It's very unlikely at this stage that this movie is going to make a huge amount of profit, if any, by the time you factor in marketing and everything. Like, I don't see this hitting $500 million. At what do you think it is going to take at this point for Disney to give up on the MCU? I mean, it's been going down and down. Thunderbolts wasn't a huge commercial success.
They're not pulling the plug until after the next 2 Avengers films.
Well, that's what I was going to... Do you see a world where we literally just do not even get Doomsday?
No.
You think that we're getting that
because
no matter what?
Yeah. Avengers Doomsday will make massive bank. It doesn't matter if it's a piece of shit.
I don't know that it will.
Downey Jr.'s back.
All the people that past that point.
I think all the people who reckon Endgame is the greatest movie of all time, and there are billions of them, they may not be bothering with these ones or waiting for streaming.
But when even those people are so disenchanted, and the problem is that you say not bothering with these ones, that's barely an option anymore with the MCU. The MCU is now so fucking up its own law that if you miss one of these movies, you might not understand the next one.
Oh, yeah, but I think people are like waiting for streaming. You know, all of these things end up on Disney Plus 2-3 months after release.
I mean, look, in my eyes, there's a good chance that, yes, we'll probably get Doomsday, but that it's going to be the last. Like, surely.
Because is Doomsday the first or the second? Because he got an event, 2 Avengers movies back to back almost.
I think Doomsday is the first one. Let me check it out. Because what are we in now? Phase
6?
What? 6? Jesus Christ, really?
I think so.
Okay. Doomsday is the first one, and then Secret Wars.
Secret Wars,
So we've got 3 left, apparently. So next year we're getting Spider-Man Brand New Day and Doomsday, and then the year after...
will do okay.
Yeah, and then the year after we get Secret Wars, which I'm calling it. That's going to be the end of the MCU. We're not getting more.
I don't know if it'll be the end of the MCU, but I think there'll be a significant hiatus, or they'll pivot and it'll all be X-Men shit for the next 4 years. They'll move away from Avengers being kind of the central hub, and this is with them getting the mutants in there, and then they've got a whole new paint box to play with. And
Maybe. I don't know. All in all, look, what am I going to give this? I'm torn between a 6 and a 7. I didn't have a bad time with this movie. I didn't have a fantastic time. I'm going to land on a 6.
Because did you say that... You did say Josh Friedman was one of the writers, didn't you?
Yes.
See, that's what unless it's the 10,000 other writers that were probably on it, but he is such a genuinely good writer. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised that it's not more cohesive and just better.
Yeah. How are you scoring this one?
Yeah, 6.
All right. Well, let's move on to a much more enjoyable movie. Jurassic World Rebirth is a 2025 American science, don't you laugh, science fiction action film directed by Gareth Edwards and written by David Koepp. I'm not joking. Takes place 3 years after
You're
Jurassic
more
World
of an
Dominion.
apologist for this than you are for I Know What You Did Last fucking summer.
The fourth Jurassic World film, as well as the seventh overall installment in Jurassic Park franchise. It stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, Manuel Garcia Ruflo, and Ed Skrein. And look, what's it about, Dave?
Well, you've got some hardcore super commando types who operate by their own, but basically Arnie's troop from Predator, who get enlisted by evil corporation to go and insist
go into the dino
naive
zone.
Scientists to go to the forbidden zone where, because we always need to get bigger and better, there are more mutant dinosaurs that never existed because they've somehow crossbred shit to make them even worse.
As well as regular dinos. There's dinos as well.
Sure, none of the dinosaurs in this franchise are actually scientifically accurate, but I let that slide. And because it's a Jurassic Park movie, we need to have a family with kids, even in the most unlikely scenario. So we have the Lincoln lawyer and his young teenage daughter and teenage daughter's incomprehensibly annoying doofus boyfriend, who are on the other side of the world in dino fucking forbidden land, because that's where you take your kids on holiday. And they all have to join forces with the silliest MacGuffin of a story where they need to get DNA samples from the largest terrestrial dinosaur, the largest flying dinosaur, and the largest seabird for no reason.
No, mate, it's to cure heart disease.
We'll get to it, but they talk about the fact that they need big things. There is no way Quetzalcoatlus is nowhere near the biggest anything. It's the size of a fucking condor. That's ridiculous. It's only because they wanted land, air, and sea so they could have a variety of action scenes. That's the only reason it's silly.
And it fucking worked.
Oh,
this movie was great. This is the best Jurassic Park movie we've had in years, probably since the first one.
No.
Yes.
No.
Jurassic Park is obviously one of the greatest
Jurassic
films
Park
of all
2
time.
is better than this.
No, it's not. The Lost World is not a good movie. Jurassic Park 3...
I'm not saying it's a good movie. No,
Jurassic Park
don't put the
3
words in my mouth.
Jurassic Park 3 is better than The Lost World.
Is that the first... the one where Star-Lord's training raptors?
No. That's Jurassic World. That's the fourth one in the franchise.
Okay, which is 3?
3 has Grant and
is 3
Laura
the
Dern
one where...
back again.
2 is
just Goldblum.
3 is just Alan Grant. Okay.
Yeah.
They blur together so much.
Yeah. So 3 is better than 2. 4 is better than 2, but not as good as 3. 5 and 6 were absolute abominations. They were just pure pieces of shit.
That's when you've got dinosaurs swimming through the Arctic and stuff,
this
even though
movie's
they're
fun as
fucking
fuck.
cold-blooded.
Gareth Edwards is a great director. There are some fantastic action sequences in this. The scene where they're on the little inflatable canoe being chased by the T-Rex, outstanding.
Well
sequence.
directed.
Yes.
Dumb as fuck characters.
You've got David Koepp returning as the screenwriter from the first film, which instantly makes this the best screenplay since then. Yes, it has flaws. I agree the biggest problem with this film is the characters, particularly dipshit boyfriend. Just don't need it. To be honest, I mean, look, I don't hate having the family there. And I know you say it's out of nowhere. I literally just watched The Perfect Storm, and I forgot that there's an entire subplot in that film where there's a random family on a boat in the middle of the storm that has to be rescued.
It's not that he took his kids out on the boat.
And that's a true story.
It's that he took his kids...
That's a true story, Dave.
He took his kids out on a boat across the fucking half the planet into the most dangerous waters on the planet that are forbidden to enter.
He wasn't going through the forbidden zone.
There are literally giant dinosaurs swimming around under the boat.
Yeah, where they're not meant to be. He wasn't going through the forbidden zone. The dinosaurs had come outside of the forbidden zone.
He was close enough that these things were there.
Mate, no.
When you know that dinosaurs are a real thing and you know the forbidden place, you don't go anywhere within 100 miles of it with your young daughter in a boat.
No,
I love the Lincoln lawyer, but he's the worst dad ever.
I honestly enjoyed this. I went into this expecting it was going to be crap. Like, that's why it took me so long to see it. And we only saw it because my daughter's of the age where she loves Jurassic Park and she was super keen to see it. And so we took her to see it. And I think I liked it more than she did. I thought this movie was so much fun. I mean, how can you dislike... I mean, you've got ScarJo, Mahershala Ali is fantastic.
This is the worst I've ever seen her act.
Piss off.
Ever.
Nah.
Look,
It's
I'm not
an
saying I didn't
enjoyable
enjoy
cast,
some of the
it's
set
an
pieces.
enjoyable time.
The first action set piece on the water, great. Absolutely great. Loved
Every
it.
action set piece. The one where they're in fucking flying
everything
one's
with
nest
that,
and
what's that fucking made up dinosaur where they literally
at the
tried
end,
to make it look like the fucking
final sequence where they've got that dinosaur.
Yeah, the one that it looks like the fucking Pappy dinosaur from Alien Resurrection or whichever one it is.
Yeah.
Fucking
I've
worst
got no
creatures.
problem with
Terrible,
that though.
terrible.
Look,
Hated it.
You know, I'm unabashedly a monster movie fan, and I love.
Give me the other made up. What's the other made up one? Indominus Rex.
Yeah,
the kind of white one. Give me that one instead. I don't need this weird mutant thing.
I love that this movie leans deeper into horror than any of the others have, because the first Jurassic Park film effectively is a horror. It's an adventure horror film. It's like the first Alien film.
Well, this
and I love that this leaned into that.
This one stole heavily from Aliens.
Yeah,
running down tunnels and the things coming through the. I mean, it's
yeah. It was great. Honestly, oh man, 8 out of 10.
Oh my god,
good time at the movies, and it's well outperformed Fantastic Four.
It tried. I mean, they tried to have the magic moments from the first film. So one of the greatest moments in cinema history is when Alan Grant and co. see dinosaurs for the first time, and you've got the giant brontosaurus or apatosaurus or whatever slowly moving, and it's majestic. The glasses come off. They tried to do that, but the CG on those fucking things was so god awful.
I disagree.
I'm not, okay,
Let's talk about the look of the film. This is a fantastic looking film.
I am not saying that the CG is bad in that it didn't look real. I'm saying the design of the dinosaurs was ludicrous. Those long prehensile tails that were about 10 times longer than they should have been, moving in ways that no tail would ever move, circling around themselves like fucking pythons.
This was such a good-looking film. I mean, so we returned to fully shot on film stock, not shot digitally, which makes it different. This is a gorgeous-looking film.
I'm not having to go at the cinematography
film,
or the quality of the CG.
The CG in this film is this is the best CG we've had in a Jurassic Park film since that first one.
Yeah, I misspoke. The creature design, I think, is god-awful. The CG is well done.
The final dinosaur that's a bit
the Mongi one's fucking terrible. Those giant things with the ridiculous long tails. I was laughing at how badly they were designed.
Nah.
The quality of the CG.
Maybe a 9.
All of your peers did some great work.
You might have upped me to a 9.
Whoever sketched the things, fucking terrible. Absolutely.
How are you scoring this film?
See, I don't know whether to mark it down based on how bad and stupid all the characters are, because every single decision is moronic. Is that bad writing, or are they deliberately writing annoying characters?
Could be.
When she's dragging that fucking raft that says inflate on land.
Oh no, fuck, that's a good scene.
Okay, she's on the edge of the water. She's on the edge of the water. She could just inflate it, put it in the water. She chooses to drag it noisily down a 30-foot wooden pier next to a sleeping T-Rex.
No.
Why?
No. I actually thought that was a fantastic scene, right? Because they focus on the, inflate on land, do not inflate on water. I thought that she hadn't seen that. I thought that she was going to fuck the raft by just dragging it into the water and trying to inflate it on the other side.
No, she fucked her family by waking up the T-Rex when she could have just opened it where it was without going...
The opening was the loud part, not the dragging. She was trying to drag it as far as she could.
Watch it again. She is dragging that thing. It is so loud, and it goes for so long.
It was the opening of it that woke the T-Rex.
Oh,
I thought that was a great scene. That was
stirring
tense.
from the dragging. And the whole family are going, what are you doing?
I was a fan. I dug it. How are you scoring it?
Oh. All the deaths were... I picked who was going to die from right at the beginning. The only thing I didn't pick was Mahershala Ali raising like Jesus from the dead at the end for no reason. Oh, look, this is... 4 out of 10.
Oh, woof. That
I
is
was going to give
so
it 3,
rough.
and I felt bad for you.
That's harsh.
Well,
Let's talk about a film that I'm really, really curious to hear your thoughts on. One that I believe we both saw today, Together, which is a supernatural body horror film written and directed by Michael Shanks in his directorial debut.
Yeah,
It
is he
stars,
Aussie or Kiwi, isn't he?
I believe he's Aussie. It was filmed, he's Australian. It was filmed fully in Australia. Stars real-life married actors Dave Franco and Alison Brie.
Are they?
Yeah, they've been together for a long time. They've been together since like 2012 and married
okay.
since 2015 or something.
That removes one thing I was going to say, which is their partners must be really awkward watching that.
No.
Because they're very comfortable in that sex scene.
Well, because they've been together for a long time, and this is not the first movie that they've done together. And it's not the first horror movie. That's kind of where they've leaned now, is kind of this kind of offbeat.
What else? What did
horror.
they do together before?
Well, they wrote and directed one together.
We're not
I
fucking
can't
Horse
think of
Girl.
the
I
name
wasn't
of
a
it
fan
off
of that.
my head. What's it called? It was like 3 or 4 years ago. The Rental.
Oh, did I see that?
Two couples who begin to suspect that they're being watched in the house they rented. You might have seen it. 2020 it came out. So that was his directorial debut. So they've been kind of working in this space for a while now. But obviously this one they didn't write or direct, but they're producers on the film.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went into this knowing nothing other than seeing the poster, which admittedly does kind of give too much away.
The trailer gives a lot away, but it didn't really detract from...
Same as like Companion, fantastic film, poster and
Oh,
trailer just spoil everything.
That was more egregious, because I don't think this is ruined
No.
by knowing a bit about what's going to happen.
Yeah. So I knew that it was, going to be horror. I didn't know it was going to be so body horror, which I fucking loved. And I think that this is one of those rare cases, because usually there really is a divide. Usually body horror films are not actually all that scary. You think of films like The Fly, even The Substance. Honestly, I know I copped flack for saying The Substance isn't a horror movie. I don't think it is. It's body horror. It's not a scary movie.
It's a more of a dark satirical comedy
This
that
movie
happens to have some body horror elements.
This movie actually is scary at times. I think there are some fantastic
but not the body horror bits. There is some scary, what are almost more what you would expect from a ghost story or something. Those are the elements that I found scary. The body horror bits are, they're gross out. They're meant to be. Yeah. They work on that level.
But I also love that this movie kind of leaned in. Like this is still a fun movie. Like this could be so grim, and there are some very funny moments. Yeah. Like I really like that this movie did that, because so many films like this wouldn't. They don't want to break that tension. And, I thought that this movie was very reminiscent to me of Midsommar. This is what I was going to call a relationship horror more than anything.
Midsommar for that. The feel of this, I kept thinking back to Men.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because it takes a while to get to the... And I knew the body horror stuff was coming, because the trailer does have...
Right, okay, I haven't seen the trailer. Yeah.
So I knew it was coming, and it does take a while to get there. It's a little bit slow to get going, because it is trying to build that kind of relationship situation.
Which I do think is really important. Like,
the body horror stuff means nothing if the relationship setup isn't there.
Yeah. And I actually think this is I'm going to use, it's going to sound like a strange word to use, but a beautiful film. Like, in a lot of ways, it reminded me of Eternal Sunshine in terms of...
I can get that.
What it's talking about, Like, it's really interesting that they're not a perfect couple at all.
No, not at all.
And they have huge flaws. They're not intimate. Like, you spend the first half of the movie thinking that they should not be together.
Yeah.
But that... Oh, man, it just... The way that it goes, and particularly... The very ending of the film, it did take me by surprise, because I spent a lot of the final act. I spent a lot of the final act going, how are they going to get out of this?
Yeah.
Like what is going to get them out of this? and it very much surprised me. I mean, I kind of don't even want to give a direct spoiler because I think this movie is absolutely worth watching.
I think the trailer doesn't give any indication of what the ending is.
Yeah.
The trailer, and if you read anything about this, you'll know that this couple ends up through,
magical means,
magical plot machinations that are not really that, explained. Inextricably drawn to one another to the point where
their bodies are merging.
They start whenever they get too close, they start to merge. And sort of how they deal with that in amongst all of the kind of brokenness of particularly Dave Franco's character's kind of emotional state. He is an absolute mess, which you kind of... You get a bit of a sense of why he's discontent, because he had these dreams of being a musician, and it was not. It wasn't kind of working, and so he's agreed to move to this with her for this
small town where she's a teacher.
Yeah, she's taken a job with this small town, and they're living sort of in the woods on the outskirts of this small town, because she wants to get away from the inner city school where she feels that she's not making a difference, and she wants to have be able to have more of an impact on the kids that she's teaching, which is all very well and good. It means that he's basically writing off his admittedly kind of stop-start, never really got anywhere musical career, because he's now hours away from gigs and things. So he's discontent because of that, but we do find out as well that he's got some pretty significant psychological issues from his childhood.
Some of
his dad sounds abusive, and one thing which I think the writing, and I don't know if there's
the death of his dad.
Well, was it? See that.
Yeah, it jumps.
Was it the dad? I thought it was the grandparents. See,
I agree.
Something's been edited out. I think
is that because he tells this great story about his dad and the dead rats in the roof and stuff. And then immediately it cuts to him telling this story about finding his parents.
Yeah.
And you do know it's his parents because they do talk about that later. The psychologist says, your mother, and was talking about her issues and stuff when he gets prescribed
that connection.
Yeah.
But certainly, he's talking about these rats and then says, and when I walked in on them, and I'm like, walked in on who? And then you've had the dream sequence.
His father's been dead, obviously, for days if not weeks or months. Yeah. And his mother had just gone crazy.
That's why I thought it was grandparents that he was visiting for the day, because has he not seen his parents for days, if not weeks?
Yeah, it was
They've never
unclear.
left the bedroom. That was all a bit weird, but it did give us probably the scariest scene in the film, which was when he's imagining they go to be intimate at night, and he's like, I drank too much, and you can tell it's an excuse, and she rolls over and says whatever.
That is
and then
great.
He hears her saying,
can you tell them to leave?
No, but before that she's saying all this really mean shit about
how he resents her and stuff.
Being resentful doesn't make you less of a failure and things like that. And he's like, why are you saying that? And then she says, can you ask them to leave? I can't sleep with them watching me. And he looks up, and then she comes under the covers.
It's scary enough when you just see them there, but then when he goes to and it's not like one of those. I fucking hate this style of jump scare at the moment. That's really big. It started with It, where Pennywise kind of runs at the camera, and in a lesser movie that would have been what happened. But instead, you get this really kind of offbeat jump scare where he just goes to hide under the covers and her head comes up from under it.
It's like Misha Barton in The Sixth Sense. Suddenly their face is under the sheet.
I think this movie's really well directed, and moments like that in particular.
It's very impressive, leaving aside some of those bits, like we said, with the where bits of script have been obviously cut that needed to be there. But the deft hand that he's got in directing the horror scenes in particular, and some of the others, like the it's not a love scene, it's a kind of a humping scene, but the in the school bathroom,
that's
terribly inappropriate for a teacher, but
and then I was not expecting,
that's really well directed.
Yes, and I was not expecting the shot of when they try to separate and you see his dick being stretched. I was not expecting that. But yeah, really, really well put together.
And he's dealt with the budgetary shortcomings as well really well because I think the practical effects of the merging bits, which in reality, possibly not that hard to do. All you need is a skin-coloured kind of rubber suit and you slide your fingers under it. But it was really well done.
Agreed, and led to some like really funny moments, like when she gets the carving knife to to cut them apart. Like he's like, "What the fuck do I know about mildew?"
But the where obviously budget was an issue with the dogs at the beginning that are sort of merged.
Oh yeah, and that's a great moment as well.
The kind of merged, what I assume is the couple that went missing beforehand, and he comes and they're sort of half merged. You can tell in the close up that's not great practical work. But
I don't know.
The use of lighting and the way that he's cut back and forth.
Yeah,
you don't really feel that it's badly done. You feel like it's creepy and horrible and all the rest of it. He's done it really well,
movie. And I thought that both Franco and Brie were great. I mean, I think they have very good chemistry, which makes sense given that they've been together in real life for bloody 12, 13 years now. I thought they were both fantastic. I reckon I'm a 9. This is up there. Can
someone please give Damon Herriman a romantic lead role or something? This poor fucker has never had a role that wasn't creepy bad guy for, I want to say, 20 years. Everything I see him in, he's really good. I think he's one of the most underrated Australian actors, but he is always the creepy bad guy. As soon as he comes on screen, I was like, oh, he seems like a nice teacher. No, he's a fucking bad dude. Something's going awry. He's got ulterior motives. Something nasty's going to happen with that guy.
Yeah. No, I'm a 9 out of 10, honestly. This at the moment is up there with very possibly being in my top of the year list at the end of the year.
I was an 8, but I'm going to go 8.5 because Franco wears a King Gizzard shirt. So I'm going to get an extra half a point for the King Gizzard t-shirt.
Nice.
But yeah, if you like kind of gross, creepy horror, worth seeking out. And it's not getting a lot of hype, certainly that I've seen. It kind of reminded me a little bit of... Did you ever see Fresh?
Yes, I did, yes.
That's another one which I thought was outstanding and big cast, and no one kind of heard about it. It just sort of came and went. And I remember thinking with that as well, how does, you've got fucking Bucky from the MCU and all and crawdads, but no one heard about it. And this is the same. It doesn't seem to be a lot of chatter about it. But if you see it together anywhere, go see it because it's good creepy shit.
100%.
Whiskey for the pain.
All right, next week, how about... The movie that's coming out that I'm very keen on is Weapons. I'm really keen on Weapons. I've seen the trailer. I think it looks good. I like. We've spoken about how much we like Julia Garner. That's the one where she plays a primary school teacher and the entire class goes missing.
I don't think I know the premise. I just saw because it's kind of the year of Garner. She's got the MCU. She's got that, and she had something else as well. There was some TV property, I think.
So I am keen for that. On that. I don't know if it's a full episode though. What if we pair that with a top 5?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do like a mini review of Weapons and then a top 5 of something?
Yep, I'm game.
All right.
Do like top 5s and top 10s.
We'll chat off mic and come up with what
we'll see if we can link it thematically in some way.
Yeah.
Maybe top 5 movies where someone goes missing or something.
Yeah, or top 5 like scary kid movies or something. Yeah. We'll
I don't want to edit together scary kids.
We'll find something. But in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at pottymouthradio.com or pottymouthradio@gmail.com. You can go join the Facebook listener community where you can chat to us. And, if we're going to do a top 5, we'll chuck the topic up there so that you people can have your say.
Yep.
And go check out patreon.com/pottymouthradio where we've got bonus shows, etc. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, go check out our YouTube channel where we're now doing full video content of all of our episodes. So,
and if you are watching it on YouTube, click the likes and subscribes and do all the things.
100%, yeah. So there you go. Lots happening in the world of Potty Mouth Radio, and we will catch you next week.
Yeah. See you then.